War. War never changes.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, to another edition of War Never Changes. My name is Jim. Over there is the befuddled one, 50 cal, Phil McCracken Jr. How are you, sir?
I'm confused. You didn't say anything to try to make me laugh.
I know. I pulled a swerve on you today. Normally, as the logo is coming up, Phil and I are conversing, obviously, on Skype, and I'm making an OBS overlay. But normally, I say something incredibly inappropriate, and Phil just doesn't like that. Well, and he tries to act all stern, and I'm perfectly fine. And today was absolute silence. I didn't even say anything. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, let's just try today to do nothing and to see. And I think that was the reaction of the reaction. That was actually really, really good.
Well, the
I'm proud of
last
myself.
times you tried to do it to me, it didn't work. So I thought maybe you're just discouraged.
Oh, you broke my spirit, Phil. You broke my spirit. Yeah, I was like, I have a list of jokes and I'm all ready to go. I stay up all night. I got my, I'm writing down little zingers, ready to pop them off. And then, you're like, not funny, not cool, not funny. So maybe, I don't know. Um, so I am going to start off this week's show by reminding everybody to subscribe to the channel. Oh, the logo's crooked. Oh man, dude, it's so crooked. It's not even remotely close to center. I recently changed the logo. It's way down in the bottom corner, like over here. You could see the word subscribe though. So while you're down there thinking about how bad, it's not even the right side. If it was down on the other corner, it would look better.
Clearly,
Oh
me not laughing at Jim's opening comments is just destroyed this show. We're falling apart.
It's falling apart at the seams. Phil, I wanted to get that out of the way because I wanted to start this week with a very popular topic that you actually did last week, the trash or treasure. I have never seen more than 3 comments on our video by more than one person until last week. The comments were insane. And overwhelmingly, the 2 things everybody liked the most was you talking about your plot for Grand Theft Auto 5 and your idea for trash or treasure. And I thought, what better way than to keep the fuel going than by doing a trash or treasure list that I came up. So, are you ready? We'll do some rapid fire. I got 5 of them. And then some of them will break off into topics, and some of them will just fade into the nether. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The first one, Discord and PlayStation announce a partnership. Trash or treasure?
Trash. Nobody cares.
Okay, wow. That one caught me off guard. I didn't think you were going to say that. Okay, I think I know the answer to this one, by the way, but let's go ahead for fairness. Xbox Series X now boasts a higher frame rate for 97 total back-compatible games.
Trash. Nobody cares.
Okay, that caught me off guard too. Next one, Todd Howard.
Trash. No, Todd Howard's a treasure. He's a treasure for sure.
Number 4, the Bob.
Treasure. Dude,
And
a national treasure.
a national treasure over Todd Howard. Wow, okay, very good. Maybe, did you ever think that maybe the Bob is Todd Howard?
I bet the Bob is Pete Hines.
He probably is. And lastly, and maybe most importantly, Titanfall 2.
Oh, treasure. I like it a lot.
Okay, very good. I have to start with the Discord and the PlayStation thing because, well, that was the first topic of the show anyway. We did a little double dip in there. But I want to talk about that because I thought that was a big deal. So to put a little context and everything and then get your hot take on it. I know we don't use Discord, so maybe that's where you don't care as much. But Discord and PlayStation recently this past week, they announced a partnership during what Discord called their Series H round, in which they accrued a little more than $140 million from various investors. Sony made a minority investment. We don't know the specific amount. Or maybe somebody smarter than me could dig into the stock market and figure it out. The fact that I knew that much really, I think, is the news story here. But there's more. There's more, sir. They made a minority investment, and I believe somehow as a result of that, got them into talking, or maybe it was like, hey, if you we'll give you some money if you do this. They have announced starting next year there will be integration from Discord into the PlayStation ecosphere in some capacity. And I guess I'll stop there for a second. This does nothing for you, and you consider it trash because why?
What do I need? For what reason do I need Discord to be involved with PlayStation? I use my PlayStation to play games.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody, this week. Phil, take it away. No. Okay. So there's been some other instances where we have seen, I want to say, integration between two companies like this. Do you remember back in the Xbox 360 days, and they resurged it actually again recently on Xbox One, the club system. Did you ever use that? Do you remember the clubs at all?
No, I mostly use my Xbox to play video games.
Okay. So this is, I know, well, you're making it really hard to, this is going to be a really, really short fucking show, guys.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't understand, and I want you to delve deeper into why synergy is important, because I don't see the point of the synergy.
It's matchmaking. That's basically what it boils down to. Microsoft Clubs was the first example I was going to give. Subreddits, the Destiny Looking for Group app, Slack, Facebook chat groups, they all do the same thing. If you're online and you're looking for friends, let's say you're playing the Division 2 and you get to a really hard spot. Now, Division 2 is an old game, but it's a good example. There's still a pretty active fan base, although it's hard to get a quality group together online at a certain time. Let's say you go on any of those aforementioned websites or now this integrated site, and you say, hey, look, I am playing on PlayStation. Here's my handle. I'm at this area. It's really hard. Can someone lend me a hand? I'm looking for a group, or I'm looking to start up a team. I'd like to do the end raid content, whatever. To get somebody to write you back and say, hey, yeah, here's my handle, then to go on your console. I know, I'm so excited. I was really hoping I wouldn't bump it this time, but it wouldn't be a show if I didn't bump my microphone. To get somebody's handle, then to go on your console, find them, friend them, add them to your game, play with them. Let's say they're great. Maybe you become friends. Let's say they're not. Then you got to either unfriend them or maybe block them if they're weird, whatever. That's a lot of steps. What if it was integrated where you could be online and say, I'm looking for this group right now. It's blasted to everybody on this Discord. You do hashtag division, I don't know. Everybody sees it. You have a bunch of potential applicants, whatever. You could very quickly integrate into the game. That's really what it boils down to. I think to start. I think that's the beginning of it.
Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm fairly cynical, though, so,
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that, if either I was, using it and I saw that, I would just write back something horrible, like, fuck you, you loser piece of shit, or something, or, like, that's what I would expect to be written
troll
back
people.
to me. Like, you're a huge three-letter F word, you know what I mean?
You could totally troll it, and I suspect there's part of the system there that would be for trolling and for people, being whatever. I don't know. I think enough people, you would get enough quality out of it, though. What if you were wanting to do some sort of tournament? Instead of embedded through the game, let's say you wanted to start a tournament for a fighting game, or you wanted to get a group together for Titanfall, or you wanted to play with your fans. What if you wanted to start like a War Never Changes group and like, okay, we're going to do, I don't know, some outreach thing. We're going to play with people this weekend, jump in our chat. We're going to integrate voice, private chat, lobbies, waiting rooms, ladder, make it a community.
Yeah, no, we'd have one person there waiting for us.
Maybe, probably not. We might not even show up. This Viper Magic guy, he said he was going to be online, but it says he's offline. I wonder if he blocked everyone. Quit. I think there's potential for that, and I think the closest impact I had to something like this dates back to the Xbox Beacon system, which was around in the Xbox 360 days, where you could ping all of your friends, everybody. And they took it away because people abused it very quickly. I remember doing this on Gears 3. We had a bunch of friends who were online. Some people would be playing Forza, some people would be playing Halo, whatever. I want to play Gears. I ping every one of my friends, and across the bottom of their screen, remember the Xbox 360 notification? Bloop, popped up on the bottom of the screen. Jassafat is looking for somebody to play Gears 3 with. And they all saw it. And if nobody responded, I'd hit it again. Like 5 seconds later. Now, could you go...
Sure?
Yeah. Now, you could go through your friends list, and individually hit people up. If people are already playing, it made it even better. But it was a quick way to notify everybody. And that's just a very basic application. But if you were able to make more cultivated, curated content, if you were able to expand that in a more meaningful way, I think people would be receptive to it. And that's what Discord is now. That's exactly. I'm part of the Halo Discord. I'm part of the Bethesda has a Discord. Arcane Studios has a Discord, and it's just a chat room right now because there's no hook on it into the games, really. But if there was, I don't know. We're gonna have an Arcane Studios meetup. If you're a fan of Prey, come online tonight. We're gonna talk about Prey in game, and we're gonna play together. I don't know. Fill in the blanks. That's, I guess, what I'm getting on.
No, that sounds cool. It's not something that I would ever want to use, but it sounds cool.
You know what I really wonder though, is Sony. Sony buys into this. I think Sony's party system is adequate as it is now. I don't know if we necessarily need any more tie-ins to that. Where this was going for me in my head was Sony has been making a major push lately, and I don't have an official topic about it, but I'll bring it up here. Sony's been making a big push lately for PC gaming, and they've been porting a lot of stuff over to PC. A lot of people speculate that because they're having such a hard time getting Silicon to finish making PlayStation 5s, that they're just, hey, let's make money somehow. Let's push some of our older games to PC. Let's make some money somewhere. So I see that connection, I guess is what I'm saying. I see where Sony's delving into the PC space a little bit, and Discord right now integrates well into PC. I see them trying to merge those two communities together in their own weird Sony way. I don't think it's as well as Microsoft with one giant friends list and Game Pass works seamlessly and cross progression, but I see it's like a Sony baby step. And I could be wishful thinking, but that's what I think.
Yeah. Did you ever change Jassafat? Is Jassafat still a thing?
Jassafat is still my Xbox game handle. I still have not changed it. I have written Microsoft thousands of times. I've talked to them on the phone thousands of times. They will not give me Viper Magic back. It is locked behind an email that I don't think exists, and they will not reset it for me. And they said they cannot reset it for me on the basis that if the real owner is out there, which is me, and somehow wants to get it back, it's not fair. When you make an email account, you make an agreement that only you have access to it forever. So their recommendation is just to make a new account.
Why don't you just change it to Mussy Boy?
Mussy Boy, all caps. There's been a lot of good names that have come out. I have some really good ones that I still check to see, because you go to the website and it's one free name change. There's still a few good ones that I go online to tease at to see, and they're still available. So I'm like, okay, but it's not the same.
I should go change mine to Mussy Boy.
Might be too late. Bob might already.
Mussy Boy.
You good? Okay, so yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I think that was one of the more interesting news stories for me in the perspective that PlayStation is... I know a lot of people think PlayStation is kind of like settling, and that caught a lot of people off guard. I don't use Discord. I'm a Slack guy. I'm also a TeamSpeak guy, so I don't really delve too much into that. But hey, if they said TeamSpeak integration was in there, oh my God, that would be awesome. Imagine talking to
freaking sick.
Right, exactly. So that's my point. Is what if we all make the change to Discord next year? You know what? Discord's a better... Slack does offer team chat support. You can talk over. You could do voice conference and you do video call. We could record this off of Slack if we wanted to. So just because it's not like our preferred service, I guess. Discord is the biggest. It's just not the one that I like.
Yeah, I prefer TeamSpeak.
I agree. Yeah, we've had it for so long. Let me make a note here. Okay, moving on. The other big news topic this week definitely was Apple versus Fortnite. Epic Games Store fighting against Apple. Have you been following any of this online, by the way?
Tell us more, Jim.
I will. So it's all about the in-app transaction system and the Fortnite feeling that Apple's taking unnecessary cuts from their game. Apple's saying, no, you guys signed a contract. You come on our platform. We're going to get a blanket percentage of every sale you make, whether it's a free-to-play game microtransaction or it's a flat-out purchase. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. But obviously, Apple, very large, very dominant, it's part of the sector. So people, obviously flock to it. Which in of itself I think is interesting. I've seen a lot of news trickle out of that as Microsoft's been making, Microsoft, as I've talked about Microsoft. I'm one line ahead in the notes. Let's go back a line. A lot of interesting news is boiled out of this because in order to make a case, Epic's been throwing out a bunch of emails. Here's emails that we had with PlayStation. Here's emails we had with Microsoft. So you're seeing all these like leaks. They're leaking everything. They're trying to paint a picture that they're the victim. I think they're going to lose the court case, by the way. I don't think they're going to win. And I'm curious to see where that boils out. But before I go on to the next part of that, do you have any thoughts or care at all about how this boils out, like how this pans out?
Yeah, I do. I think because it's going to set precedent, first and foremost. It's going
Okay.
to set precedent whichever way it swings. Also, I mean, it's not as though that I can't sympathize with the company, like, oh, Apple's this big bad entity, and they may be, and that's what it is. But Epic did kind of sort of enter into an agreement with them and say, hey, to use your platform and gain access to your immense player base
Hmm.
and user base, we're going to pay a standard fee. And if they can't balance their books and be profitable based on the agreements that they've entered into, then they need to find a new CFO. And they need to restructure something. I mean, the
Right.
fees are what they are. It's not like Apple's randomly just increasing them sporadically with no notice. It's like, this is it. This is what it is. This
Right.
is what's going to happen. If you want access to our platform, this is how it's going to be.
Right.
Just like to enter into an agreement and get and bear the benefits of that massive customer base and getting access to that, and then saying, oh, well, we kind of let's renegotiate. Like, what are you bringing to the table that's going to incentivize Apple, the most valuable company on earth, to play
True.
ball with you?
True.
I don't know.
No, you're right.
I personally feel like it's precedent setting, and I feel like Apple should stick to their guns. Um, because if they don't, I mean, I worry. And never mind. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. I think Apple should stick to their guns, and I think Epic should put up or shut up.
It's interesting as a lot more facts trickle out of it. I think that's what I'm more interested in. I do agree with you. I'm not a game developer, but I understand the more that these distribution companies and these big houses take percentages away from developers, it is going to force developers' hands in different directions. So if, for example, Apple's taking too much money, and I'm not a big cell phone gamer, but let's just say I was. Let's just say Apple takes way too much money, and you're a young developer. You're ready to make Mussy Boy, the Phil McCracken experience, the greatest game of all time, and you're like, I got a hot product in my hands. This is the next Flappy Bird. I could sell it to either. I could do it to both, or I could sell it to Google, or I could sell to Apple. And Apple wants to take way too much money. Forget it. I'm going to Google. You just cut out a large portion of your fan base. Is it hot enough that people are going to switch devices? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But you get the point. So it does matter. But at the same time, um, you've got to think that a lot of these agreements were already made ahead of hand. It's not like Apple suddenly came out of nowhere and was like, just kidding. We said 8%. We mean 800%. You actually owe us money. That's obviously not the case.
Right.
I think Epic. I think this is a situation with Epic where they have too much money on their hands, and I think they're like trying to fight the fight on behalf of everybody to get good boy points. And it's just a battle they're not going to win. I think people are going to look favorably on this and say, "Hey, Epic is definitely pro-consumer, no doubt about it. Look at them. They're the champion. They're the victims here. They went to bat. Big evil government, big evil. I don't know who's presiding over this case, Supreme Court or whatever it is looking at this, going, "How dare they?" But at the end of the day, I think business is going to go back to the way it was. But we have something interesting to talk about while it's happening.
Yeah, that damn Tim Cook, that evil bastard.
That bastard. But yeah, I'll tell you what, he might be an evil bastard, but man, do they put on good presentations. I don't know if you watch any of the Apple events, like post-COVID world. These things are phenomenally produced. The way they zoom the camera around and all these cool graphics. I mean, I just want to throw money at my TV. Take my money.
Sorry, everyone. Jim's a little excitable recently.
Part two of this discussion, and what I really wanted to get to is a topic you had actually brought up, kind of a segue into that. And it's about Microsoft, actually. Once again, the eternal, capitalist that Microsoft is, looking to make a buck. Of course, who isn't? They announced that they are making a huge push on their horribly designed Microsoft store to take a smaller cut from developers. I'm going to give you some numbers. Steam right now takes 30% of everything you make. So again, back to Mussy Boy, Phil's hot new game. Steam takes 30% of everything that you make. So you sell a dollar's worth, you get 70 cents, Steam gets 30. That's why Gabe Newell is the richest man on the planet, because Steam sells a lot of games and he gets 30% of everything you do. And Steam is a small team. Your Valve, Valve, Steam, it's only like 10 people. They're all mega bazillionaires. Epic Games Store takes 12%. 12%, Phil, of your sales. That is by far was the most aggressive. Apple, depending on the size of your business, there's two-tiered plans. It starts at 15% if you're nobody, and then it ramps up to 30% once you're somebody. So, and then Microsoft now, and the reason we're talking about this, you flagged this article, Microsoft announced we are going to match Epic Games. We're going to go to 12% as well.
That's a pretty drastic cut down from 30%, man.
Yeah, it is.
And to me, that says, hey, hey, Sony, fuck you.
Are you winning, son?
It basically says, hey, everyone, because in that sector, they're not just competing with Sony. They're competing with everyone that you just mentioned for share. So, I mean, where are you going to buy that game? Where are you going to host your game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting that it has come down so low. I can say as a huge PC gamer, which when I read this, my mind instantly goes to PC gaming, obviously with Steam and Epic. That's all they really deal with. The Microsoft Store has been a joke for decades. It blows my mind that it is integrated into the computer. It's integrated into your Windows operating system. You can't uninstall it. It's automatically, when you hit your little Windows bar on the bottom left of your computer and you start typing, it instantly is querying the store, their cultivated store, over anything else, and people still don't use it. Think how many people own Microsoft-based products, whether it's, Word, any Windows from the beginning of time, like, it's built in, and people still hate it. With the inclusion of Game Pass and Game Pass for PC and trying to integrate that in, people still don't like it. It still has a lot of problems. I wonder if, do you think this is going to make an impact? Do you think people are really going to say, hey, can they alone buy goodwill at this point?
Through the interface on the actual Xbox app is not that bad. And I know if you say if it's not that bad, then it is that bad, but it's not. And you can go on there, you can go on through your Game Pass account, and you can buy games.
Right.
And if they're going to charge 12% to host them there, Game Pass is already an immensely popular service, so there's already kind of a captive audience, and now they're reducing their prices. How attractive does that look to a developer? Let's be honest. For 30% versus 12%, I might just take a stab at it and see what happens.
Yeah, the fan base is a lot smaller there on the Microsoft Store. A lot of times Microsoft patches on a different cycle than everybody else. So I remember we all started getting into a game called Ark, which is a dinosaur hunting game. And it was free on Game Pass, but it was like 4 versions older than what you could buy on Steam. So we all started playing it on Game Pass, liked it, saw these cool patch notes of features we didn't have, and then went and bought it on Steam. That doesn't mean you can't play the field, obviously. It doesn't mean if you're Arc, you can't sell to Steam and to Microsoft. But if the name of the game is timed exclusives, if the name of the game is, console first or console exclusive, you want this hot new game, you got to play it on our platform. We're going to pay these developers a lot of money to get, exclusive rights, or we're going to cut them a really good deal. Yeah, it's could be a mutual win. Obviously, Microsoft doesn't make as much, but it's better than zero.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
So, yeah, I think this feeds into a bigger, the console narrative thing, and we're seeing it a lot right now. I know you're not a huge Final Fantasy fan, but Final Fantasy VII, which was one of the most popular, influential games of many a gamer's lives, mine included. When they did their remaster, it was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and they just announced that they're porting it over to PlayStation 5. And it will again be a timed PlayStation 5 exclusive. So there's going to be a lot of people who can't wait to play this game, who will buy it the second it comes out on PlayStation 5. May run better on Xbox Series X, may eventually come to PC. Don't care, I can't wait. The day it comes out, I will buy it. So exclusivity matters a ton. Getting out there first matters a ton. And I'm just really curious if this is enough to kind of help a really flailing Microsoft in terms of a lot of quality games that they release.
Speaking of Xbox Series X, I know you have a litany of things, and this is kind of just a wild card throw-in. So forgive me.
I forgive you, sir.
Has your level of interest in Xbox Series X changed at all? Are you pretty much like, if they come out with a cool Halo Collector's Edition, I'll get it. Other than that, no thanks?
It's funny you say that, and actually, no. I'm still excited for it, and it's funny you mentioned Halo because I'm going to talk about that in a second. But specifically to answer your question, I am very excited. Well, those eyebrows, whew, you get hot in here, boys. What's the guy's name? Larry Gao.
Larry Gao. Yeah.
Larry, I will post a link below to Larry Gao on Instagram. Let me make a note here. One of the funniest comedians of our time, by far.
I can't do the face.
I can't either. That's why we're not Larry Gao. To answer your question, yes, I am excited for an Xbox console, but I need a better TV to enjoy it.
What TV are you considering buying?
Don't know yet. And that's, I defer to my wife, who is, it's funny, I'm the tech guy. She knows way more about TVs than me. Every TV we've ever owned in the last 20 years, I don't know, we've been together forever. She's always she's the TV purchaser. She's like, oh, you want this tech? You want OLED? You want this? Da, 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 da. So she's going to tell me. I don't know what we're going to get. But I want a TV that supports variable refresh rate, and I want a TV that supports 120 frames a second because I want to play those games at that frame rate. So yes, it does excite me. What I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, the Trash or Treasure, about the Xbox Series X boosting a higher frame rate, to me, it's a treasure. Because if I can play some of these older games at 120 frames a second, the same way I play them right now on my computer, and I can play them upstairs with HDR support on my couch with my nice headphones, chatting with my friends, comfy environment, not sitting in an office chair, I'm sold. And I'm very, 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 very excited for that. But I need a good TV to support it. So maybe Xbox releases a cool Xbox Halo edition, and that's what ultimately drives me into getting a new console. But as of today, if I don't have a good TV to support it, I'm a Sony guy and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, our TVs don't currently support what the PS5 can do either. So
Agreed. I don't know though, them saying that Halo could run at 120 frames a second. They've been very clear about this. The multiplayer will support that. I play Call of Duty all the time. I play it with you on PlayStation. I play it downstairs here. I own it twice on my gaming computer. I am way better, and you've seen this. I am way better on my gaming computer. Light years ahead better than on my PlayStation. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm sitting far away. Is it to 60 frames a second? Is it because you're distracting me with, I don't know what it is, but you've seen me pop off on computer. I'm great. And you can look at my history of the games and you're like, oh, that was a computer game. That was a PlayStation game. Because I'm just not as good. So if I could get that experience on 120, if it really is 120 frames a second, I don't know. I'm all in. And if you want to throw in some of my favorite games and make them look even prettier, I'm definitely in. And I'll jump back in that ecosystem and be very, very excited to do so.
Cool.
But I'm to the point now, I think, with Halo that, when it does come out, if Microsoft doesn't release a special console, they're morons.
I will be physically angry.
But you know what, though? Honestly, if you think about it, do you really think that they have the bandwidth to do so, considering that the basic Xbox is selling off the shelves right now? Do you think they can just say, oh, by the way, we just happened to find another 5,000 pounds of silicon, and here you go. We now have an Xbox limited edition. Like, you can't find an Xbox now. They sell out instantly.
I don't know. It's dumb if they don't do it. It's really stupid. It's also breaking with tradition.
Well, okay. So on the topic of tradition, did we see a special edition Xbox Series X? And I guess if you want to say it was the S, but like Xbox One had a special launch edition. Xbox 360, I don't think that it did. I think they had the Core and the Elite, which was just a hard drive. But you had the Day One edition with the Xbox One, the white variant. You had the Xbox One X, had the Scorpio edition. That's the one that I have. So maybe they already broke tradition. They don't care anymore because they really didn't do anything with the Series X that had like a special Day One or white variant or something.
Well, I was kind of talking about Halo and Xbox. There's usually a special Halo Xbox that coincides with the release of a Halo game.
If they were going to do it, you would think they would do it. You would think this would be the game to draw people in. I just don't know if they care enough because they're selling so fast at this point that I don't even know if they could meet the demand if they wanted to. I don't see the state of computer electronics changing radically in the next 3 to 5 years. I just don't see it. I think it's getting worse. It's getting increasingly hard to find graphics cards or peripherals, right? I mean, it's just, they're hard to find. And you look online right now, go find an Xbox Series X right now and buy it. You can't. They're sold out everywhere. So for them to say, oh, by the way, we can't meet demand on the basic one, now we're going to release a special one, I don't know when they're going to start making those.
Miner's going to mine.
Yeah, I know. I hope so. And I remember when Halo 5 Guardians was coming out, and I was beyond excited knowing that Microsoft would, because they teased it. They said, we are making an exclusive Halo 5 Guardians limited edition console, but we're not showing it off quite yet. And it was burning a hole in my stomach because I wanted an Xbox so bad. And I was like, I can't wait anymore. So I bought the Forza one, which I love. I think it's the Forza 6 or Forza 5. It's all blue, and it's got 2 black racing stripes over where the disc tray was. I'm talking the old basic bitch Xbox, the VCR. And I got it. You press the power button, and it like sounds like a car is revving up. It's like, vroom, vroom. And it was great, and I loved it. And then they finally released the Xbox 5, the Halo 5 Guardians console, and it looked to me horrible. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't wait for this because I would have bought it and stuck to my guns, but I wouldn't have been happy. I did not like the way that console looked. So I don't know if they could pull it off. Like, there's great designs out there, but they just don't. The Cyberpunk one's pretty impressive, but that's I think that is a very special case. You don't typically see that.
It's the only fucking impressive thing about Cyberpunk.
Damn. Savage. So some other Halo Infinite news. They've been releasing their monthly blogs, which was a good transition, Phil. It's almost like you read the show notes and you like geared us in this direction. So thank you, sir.
I did read the show notes.
I know. It's like I said.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, when I wrote them. Whenever I wrote them. Good thing. I thought it was going to be a crazy news week, and then just not a whole lot happened. So Halo Infinite, my question for you is, do you follow up with any of their monthly either blogs or their monthly Ask 343 Q&A sessions on said blogs?
No,
Don't
I
care.
get my Halo Infinite information from you.
Right. So I do watch them. I am very excited for them. I look forward to them. I have noticed between, I don't know if it's the blog specifically. I don't know if it's just people yearning for it or what. Halo has been significantly more popular in the last couple weeks. They've been doing more tournaments, more Halo 3 tournaments via the Master Chief Collection. I've seen Halo 5 tournaments making waves again. And I say making waves, I'm talking 15,000 people watching on Twitch, which has not happened since the Halo Master Chief Collection debuted, or even the last Halo Championship Series tournament that I was at in Orlando. That was the last one I ever did, and I got to go to it, and I loved it. We haven't seen that kind of hype in a long time, and people are talking about it, getting excited for it. There's more rumblings. You know, they're posting hidden screen. They posted the screenshot they just posted this last week of what appears to be a chopper from Halo 3. Remember the motorcycle with the big front tire that looked like a
Yeah,
blade? It
yeah.
looks like there's a chopper in the background, and everybody lost their mind. So it's like, hey, maybe this game isn't actually going to suck anymore. Do you think there's hype building again, or are you just feeding off my Halo fanboyness that there is actually hype?
If there is hype outside of our affinity for it, I don't personally feel it.
Okay.
I'm hyped for the game either way because it's we play Halo games together, so we're going to beat it together and it's going to be fun and we're going to have fun regardless because we do stupid shit like trying to take mongooses up elevators they really shouldn't go
In Halo 3, yes.
just like doing all kinds of other crazy shit. But like as far as like I spend time on Reddit, I spend time on Facebook, I spend a lot of time on the internet, and I haven't heard a peep about Halo Infinite from
Really?
anyone.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's one of those things that it's just my own little echo chamber of people who are super fans like me. That's possible. Yeah, that's why I can't really gauge anybody's hype outside of mine. I will say it's just, I don't know if it's because he wants to make a point or not, but while we're talking, Palmer just messaged me on Slack as we're recording this right now at 5:40 on 5/7. Palmer just wrote me and said, "Hey, I just started playing Halo 4. Do you want to play co-op with me?" So I know he's not watching live because we're recording this. So there is truth out there that and he's not a big Halo fan. So maybe it's building if our little group of friends, if the DBDG army is amassing, is rising to the occasion. Maybe it's true. Maybe there are people out there who are excited. I don't know.
I don't know what group do you what clan do you think is more powerful, DGBD or BDB?
Ah, the big dick boys. Always DBDG. Always looking for a good member. Yeah, so on the Division 2, we could not make a 4-name clan tag, which is probably the biggest oversight in the history of oversights. And as a result, I chose to make us the BDBs because I didn't want to be the DGB. It just didn't look right to me. So, and
No,
honestly, BDB doesn't look right either, but it's just funny now. Because Phil's like, "What is our clan? Who are we?" I'm like, I don't know. There's only two. There's like 10 people left in the world playing the division. We're two of them. Okay, let's just be happy we're out there fighting the fight. All right.
do you think people just get like that one lone wolf out there just gets terrified when he sees a clan enter? Like, oh my god!
There's two of them. Yeah. Look out! That's right. I'll bring it up here. I did a separate video on it, but since you brought up the division, then we'll wrap into kind of our finale here. Any excitement in the upcoming division game that is going to be free to play? Do you even know about this?
No.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll transition into this. Phil, what are you playing?
I want to know about the free-to-play new Division game.
There's nothing to say other than they're making one. They announced the other day. Ubisoft announced they're doing a free-to-play Division game. Ubisoft, they are doing a mobile game, a novel, a direct-to-Netflix video, and new Division 2 content. And they said it'll all be out by the end of this year. All that stuff. the whole
So no
list.
Division 3?
Not anytime soon, no. I don't know. Honestly, with how many people still are actively engaged in 2, I don't know if it makes sense for them to jump to 3 because that would be less than 4 years since 2 came out and it's still very popular.
Yeah, gotcha.
Call me again. Call me again.
What I'm playing is no more Warzone. I haven't played Warzone in like a week.
How do you
Um,
feel? Hold your hand out. Is it shaking? A little bit?
cool as a cucumber, bro.
Dude, if Rambo comes out to Warzone, day one, right? You're back, day one. We're all Rambo, all of us. You, me, and Will
If
are
you
Rambo.
if you want to go back, sure. I'm not going to
Ye-
play it without you.
But would you buy Rambo day one if it's real?
Maybe.
$25.
No.
Oh, okay. So
No.
I would. I'm a huge Rambo fan. Okay, sorry, carry on. So no Warzone. You're Warzoned out. Well, I'm Warzoned out. I don't know if I channeled the. I don't know if my decree of I'm done playing Warzone for a while carried on to others. But okay, so you're not playing Warzone. So what are you playing?
I'm playing Black Ops Cold War online multiplayer,
Yeah.
and I'm playing Division 2. And that's pretty much it.
And Division 2 is solely because we're not playing Warzone.
No, just because I get kind of frustrated with Black Ops. Um, I do it to myself because I'd be having way more fun if I played with guns that I liked playing with, but I'm trying to level up these two different guns.
Yes.
It's just like getting my cheeks clapped over and over and over again trying to level these guns up is fucking frustrating, dude. It really is. So I need a break every once in a while. And I
I
like Division 2 a lot.
Let me see if I can find. I might have deleted it. I'm looking down at my phone here. So I used. Oh, I do. Yeah, I had a list on my phone of what I call the max level guns, and I stopped. I actually stopped doing it. I don't know if you can make that out or not. Um, I quit because there was no point, and I got tired of leveling up weapons that I didn't like anymore. And I decided I'm not going to worry about leveling. It was the Krig 6. The Krig 6 broke my back. I'm like, I cannot get into this gun. It shoots too slow. I don't like it. I can't win close engagements, and I like to play run and gun like Wolverine, wild man style, running, sliding everywhere. I can't do this with this gun. I can't play long range because I suck at sniping. So what am I good for? And I'm grinding through this gun solely to put it on my dopey iPhone list. I'm like, this is a horrible idea. So I immediately went to let's level up the MP5 to get all the skins, including this gold skin, which requires 75 long shot kills, which was the worst week of my life. But now that I have the gold skin, life is good, and that's all I play with. There's nothing left to level on the MP5. I play with it. I played with it like 2 matches today. I'm the talk of the town. I got my gold skin. Everybody loves me. I'm walking down the streets. I'm always in first place again because I'm good with the MP5. I'm having fun again, and it's a significantly better game. So I know I probably brought this upon you, and I'm telling you it's okay to let it go. Don't worry about leveling guns you don't like. If you like playing with the MAC 10, you play with the MAC 10. Don't worry about any other guns, and you'll have so much more fun.
I only level the guns that they introduce as new. So the only
Okay.
ones that I'm leveling are I don't have a max level LMG, which pisses me off because sometimes I want to play with an LMG.
Okay.
So I'm leveling up the Stoner because it's got the fastest fire rate.
Stoner
And
63, yeah.
a- as a new gun comes out, I want to see what attachments it has and like see if I'd be good with it. And so it turns out that I'm decent with the PPSH 41s, Gamma, comma, Echo, Delta, whatever, fucking longest name ever. Turns out I'm decent with it, but it's nowhere near as much fun to play with as the MP5, the Mac 10, or the XM4, dude. I slay with the XM4, and I think that you've noticed my dip in KDR as I've been trying to level this fucking PPSH.
That was a tough gun to level up because it shoots slow but fast, and you have to play. You can't turn the corner and hip fire. It's got to be like a more mid range. But then at mid range, you're like, why not just use an assault rifle? It's a weird gap that it fills. Okay, so I'm with you. I get it. I will say that leveling it up is fun, I guess, just because it's done. I don't know. You put it, put a little trophy, like yeah, like for me, my little list. But knowing how the Mac performs and playing so many different maps now over and over and over again with I'm sorry, not the Mac, the MP5 for me. I love the idea that I now know what my ranges are anywhere. So I know when I turn the corner, like I need to take 2 steps forward to be aggressive at disengagement. If I'm not starting to shoot here, I peel off. And I think just through muscle memory of playing, like I know my natural limits with this gun now. And I don't touch the loadout at all. It's been the same loadout now for months, other than that stupid long range thing, which I'm not doing anymore. But yeah, it's like I just know how to play it now. I know where it works. I know when to win engagements. And it's just one of those things like I can almost count bullets in my head of like, if there's 2 targets, I'm going to shoot this guy 4 times and I'm already transitioning before the first guy dies because I know he's going to die.
Yeah.
And then you start getting these god tier plays, and there are people like, "How are you doing that?" I'm like, "I just know it, baby." Like it's just I've done it so many times, you know.
Yeah, that we just had that conversation about the Mac because I thought that they had doped it or whatever because I can
Yeah.
count bullets. I know how many at what range it takes to kill people, and it wasn't fucking working, and I was getting mad.
I was getting angry. You were getting angry. Do you still play standing up? Are you done with that now? I know for a while you were standing up when you were playing, like you were really getting into it.
Um, Now that I'm leveling guns, I haven't done it in a while. When I know that I'm playing with a gun that I like and I want to really try, I want to be a try hard and do well and be in like the top 3, I will stand up and play because there's a considerable difference.
What do you think it is? It's because you're closer to the TV? Do you
It's I
think?
think it's the view angle. I think it's my point of view.
Because you're looking down at the TV, like you're
No, I'm
looking.
looking straight at it instead of looking up.
Oh, I thought you were like looking down at the TV, like looking down at your opponents, like literally looking down upon them.
No,
It's
because the
like
TV is up on the wall. I don't know if you can see it back there.
I could see it. Yes. So okay. Okay. So maybe you need to get your TV lowered, and you'd be better. Is that what you're saying?
No,
No. 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 Okay.
no.
Fair enough. All right. I'm playing a couple more games than you. I'm bouncing around like a rabid wolf at this point. I've been playing Returnal, which I love. I think you would like Returnal. I don't think I could sell you on it, but I think you would like it.
Why?
It's the runs are basic enough that you play, you don't get so invested because you're going to die in probably 30 minutes at most. The story's captivating. It's the best use of what we love about PlayStation. Like, what's your favorite thing about PlayStation 5? What's the one single thing you love most about PlayStation 5?
The controller.
Yep. And it uses the hell out of that controller. When you start in that opening level and the rain is dropping on your character and like you can feel each little ping of rain hitting your character. Dum, 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 dum. You just know that they put so much care and thought into this game. It's got 3D sound support. So I think just from like a PlayStation technical showcase, PlayStation the game, you know, like this is like Astrobots, but a game that you want to play.
Aw, Astrobot was fun.
It was fun, but look, Astrobot served a purpose. It was a technical demo, and it was a nostalgia trip. Hey, let's go revisit some of the best characters of PlayStation lore. Let's go see Kratos and the boy. Let's go see, whatever, right? That was fun. But it wore out its welcome quickly. No one wanted to play as the spring Astrobot. I don't care what you say. The monkey level where you're doing this to climb the thing with the monkey was dumb. Nobody liked it. You know I'm right. Fight me. You know where I live. Come fight me. You know I'm right. Um, but this is actually a game you want to play. The running, the shooting, the leveling up, the gear. There's a cool plot to it. That's why I think you'd like it.
Okay. Do you think I'd find the character, the main protagonist, interesting?
Well, maybe not because it's a woman, and I know you're not a big fan of women. Nothing?
It's just not true.
I thought you were going to make a face. Like, that's not funny, Jim. Yeah, so I think it's interesting because she's a blank slate. You don't know anything about her. That's the interesting thing. And the whole point of the game is she keeps dying and waking up over and over again. And through this, she's getting flashbacks of what happened before on previous runs. I don't really know how it ends. I haven't beaten it. It's hard. It's hard as hell. But I enjoy it. I don't know. I think it's a good game, and that's if I was going to try to sell somebody, I'll say this. If I was trying to sell somebody on PlayStation 5, if I said, listen, Phil, you need a PlayStation 5. And you're like, Jim, but I love Xbox. Why would I want a PlayStation 5? And I said, Phil, the reason why you should be a Sony pony like me is because PlayStation 5 has really cool controls and a really cool 3D audio, and it looks really pretty and it loads really fast. And you're like, okay, Jim, can you show me a game that does that? I would say Returnal. It does all those things. It loads instantly. It's all that stuff. So I don't know. That's my sales pitch on it. I've also been playing Pokemon Snap, which is amazing. It's so amazing. I don't know why it's so funny to me, and I'm laughing thinking about saying it. To throw an apple at a Pokemon's head, and then while you're throwing an apple at their head, to take a picture of it. I don't know why I find that so humorous. It never gets old. Like, I swear, I mean, this is the exact same game I played when I was a kid. It's just better looking now. And I still cackle like a hyena for 20 minutes. All my pictures, at the end of the run, you got to meet with the professor. And the professor's like, hello there, what pictures do you have for me? And it's these blurry ass pictures of Pokemon getting freaking beamed. That's a good one there, Oh, he looks like he's mad. I'm like, yeah, I threw 90 fucking apples at his head. Like, of course he's pissed.
Why are you abusing these poor animals? Jim's just like getting his rocks off, like abusing these imaginary animals.
And I'm such an animal person. That's the thing. Like, I love dogs. Like, I miss my dogs so much. I love pets. I love pets more than people. I've said this thousands of times. But for some reason with Pokemon, it's like, hey, Pikachu, wham!
Hey, Charizard, fuck you.
But it's outside of the apple chucking, which is hysterical. It's just a fun game, and I feel it's one of those games that's like a Tony Hawk game to me where you don't lose. It's all score-based, so like you might get a little better score this time trying a different photo or trying a different trick or something, But it's just relaxing. The music's relaxing. There's really no plot. There doesn't need to be a plot. And you just drive this little car, and the more you play, the levels they change, the replayability changes. I don't know. I dig it. It's kind of like Animal Crossing to me. It's something fun to play. If it's late at night and I'm not really ready for bed quite yet, nobody's online, or I just kind of had a rough day at work or something. It's good to just take 20 minutes. I don't think I could play more than 20 minutes at a time. Just load it up, throw some apples at some Pokemon, and move on with my life.
I'm going to go bean Pikachu with an apple.
Well, it's funny because when you so the game logic didn't really expect you to do this. Of course, that doesn't stop me. If you throw multiple apples, they'll always chase the latest one. And they're all excited. So like they have a really short-term memory. So you throw an apple at him, he's like, ah! And then you throw another one, he's like, oh, an apple! And he goes running over. And you get this good picture of him eating an apple. And there's like 40 apples around him because I'm throwing them all, taking a picture. I don't know. It's funny. I digress.
Dude, you should wait till it starts to take a bite and then fucking bean it with another apple.
See, I'm telling you. I know they didn't design the game with this in mind, but that's how I play it. And then the last game that I've been playing a lot of lately is Genshin Impact, which they just came out the PlayStation 5 port maybe 2 weeks ago, last week. And that game is Breath of the Wild versus anime. If you like anime, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if you like that art style and you like Breath of the Wild, there's absolutely no reason not to play this game. And I would argue it may be better than Breath of the Wild. I got to play a little more to find out.
Wow, hot take, show notes, hot take.
It is a beautiful open world. It runs beautifully. The environment does exactly what Breath of the Wild did. Tons of interaction, tons of random puzzles and treasures and enemies to fight. I think the story might suck. I don't know yet. I haven't really gotten that much into it. But beautiful game. And it runs 60 frames a second, HDR, long draw distance, instant loading times. I don't know. This is what Breath of the Wild should have been, at least from a technical perspective.
Okay. Rapid fire, trash or treasure for Jim. Pizza Hut.
Treasure.
Domino's.
Trash.
Papa John's.
Trash.
Wow.
Only because, can I defend that one real quick though?
Sure.
I don't like Papa John. And I know he's been voided from his own company. I don't like the guy. I never liked him. There was something always off about him. I'm sure he might be a great guy, but when I think pizza, my first thought's Pizza Hut. Sorry.
He could have had any Camaro he wanted, and he chose the lamest generation Camaro to highlight in all his commercials. The bug-eye Camaro. Nobody in the history of ever liked that Camaro. And this dude's like all about it. You could tell just from his Camaro choice that he was a racist piece of shit.
But I mean, the pizza's not bad, and there's actually right around the corner from us, there's a drive-through Papa John's. Like, you don't have to get out of your car, which is just the perfect fat kid. Just like roll up, you just like give him a pizza. You just put it right in your lap, and it's gone by the time you get home.
Okay, kids. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. And if I'm going to do my little send-off and you ask me, Jim, trash or treasure, I would definitely say trash.